Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Wine Wednesday here. We have a very special guest by popular demand, Mr. Eric, also known as NC Trades or NCNY Trades in the chat room or also in the comment section here. But today he won't have to be commenting. He is live with us. So welcome, Eric. Glad to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I'm appreciated for the invitation. I'm so happy to be here,
Yeah,
We're
Let's
so
go.
happy to have you. We've been
Thank you.
talking about doing it for a while. He's one of our better performing students. He trades with bigger size than any of the Clovers on a day-to-day basis. The guy is out of control, crazy, but he always seems to get it to work. And we'll be able to talk to him, answer some questions about that today. He's always in Good Morning NASDAQ, always talking about his experiences over in the Clover trading room, and I think he can be a huge benefit to all you out there who are either struggling, looking to get some consistency. I'll tell you, if we need to ask him about sizing up, he can probably help with that as well. But welcome. Also, great guy.
Thank you.
Every time we go to
Thank
boot
you.
camp, absolutely love seeing his smiling face. He makes you smile. And so let's get into it.
right on. Yeah, Daria says, my favorite Eric. How nice.
Hey, Daria.
Yeah, Eric knows Daria. Met in the boot camp.
Yes.
Put a sweatshirt on. I'm wearing.
And you guys
comfy
remember
industry.
we were trying to get the tickets, fighting for that ticket.
Oh
For
yeah,
the-
for the free, yeah. Or was it for the Traders
Trader
for
for
Cause?
Cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daria ended up winning. Oh my gosh, so funny.
I was keep sending
Yeah.
me. It's
If Daria doesn't win, I'll go.
what about me?
Oh gosh, too funny.
Did you end up going that year?
No, I didn't.
No,
No,
I didn't
yeah.
go. I think Kyle was the only one that went.
Yeah, I went
Yeah.
there. I did go, but anyways,
And I changed my email. So I have a better email.
yeah, you entered twice, and then two emails.
Yes.
So what
Let's
are we drinking anything tonight, Eric? What's your drink of choice? Water, smoothie, alcohol?
Nah, actually, I'm not like this really big alcohol guy, social drinker.
Yeah,
But tonight, after that trading,
you need a break.
I need something good. So I'm drinking beer. I like beer.
Okay.
So beer with the lemon and salt. Corona
Okay.
with lemon and salt.
Nice.
You can tell I need vacation. This is a vacation type drink.
Yeah.
That's an awesome mug. What does this say? Costa Rica?
Yep.
There
That's
you
my
go.
Favorites.
Oh, did you guess,
country.
Dom, or did you read it? I thought you totally guessed.
I saw some letters and I put two and two
Oh,
together.
okay. So where's that from?
Perfect.
Guadalajara? Your favorite, Dom?
Guadalajara? I'm having some wine tonight on Wine Wednesday. It's called Tres Tigres Tristes. If anyone knows,
Right.
I think it's Spanish, but it's like European Spanish. It's from Portugal.
You mean
Vino Tinto.
Yeah, Spanish.
It's like Spanish, but in Europe.
Yeah.
It's not like Mexican
Oh
Spanish.
gosh. Okay.
It's a beloved
It's-
Portuguese tongue twister.
Dom, is red or white?
It's red.
Red?
You don't drink a lot of wine, do you?
No, not really.
And a big wine trigger.
I like
I love
sweet
wine.
wines,
Like a
Yeah.
dessert wine?
I'm right there
Yeah.
with you. I like the sweetness.
I could do a glass dessert wine with like a piece of cheesecake.
I'll just do dessert wine with just the dessert wine. We don't even need dessert. We just like the sweetness.
No, you need this. You need something with it.
I'm keeping the trend rolling. We're gonna keep it rolling, Dom. You're gonna love me for this.
Hey.
More seltzers. We have maybe 6 or 7 left. I really only drink
Okay.
them when on Wine Wednesday, so we're just slowly dwindling the leftovers.
Midsummer, you'll be out of those.
Yeah, original lemon.
Do you have wine in the house?
I set these seltzers in my wine cooler, so we do have a couple bottles of
wow.
wine. Me and Kelly, we went through I don't know, it lasted maybe a week of a
Separation.
no of yeah, separation anxiety, no, of non-alcoholic wine. There was a kick where we had just drank a lot. We're like, let's just see if we can find a non-alcoholic wine that we enjoy.
Oh, they make them all over the place.
Yeah, and so we tried some, and I think there's still a couple left in the cooler. Frankly, because we
They're
just didn't like them.
They don't taste like wine.
No, so
They
we
taste like sugar.
How does it taste? Sugar?
It's like crappy juice.
Yeah, I'd
know?
rather have grape juice.
Yeah, I just rather have grape
Sparkling
juice.
grape
Wow.
juice. Oh.
Right. So we still have those in there that we haven't really want to finish. So yeah, but we've got alcohol, but we just have chosen the one truly and make it easy, Pull
One
the cap off
truly,
and that's it.
keep it ruly.
So, anyways, let's jump right in, Eric. For people who don't know you, obviously, for anyone who's
Okay.
been to the boot camp does and knows how awesome of a guy you are. But for those who don't, whatever you're willing to share, talk about your journey, your story, how'd you find trading, what interested you in trading, how long you've been trading for, the whole shebang.
What other things you do for a living? He's very multicultural. He doesn't just trade. I swear he trades for fun. I'm
Yeah,
almost
that's
positive
what
he
it
just
seems
trades for
like,
fun.
right? It's a very interesting guy here, so we got multiple
Okay.
facets here to look at.
I started with, as everybody, how they started with the team. I find the team and I follow the team. Then I start the, I start to get into trading because I do construction and mostly like this, I do high-end painting and construction. My mostly client, they're hedge funds. They are the really, top guys, and I saw them how they do it, how they live and everything. So I always be interested in the stuff, and I never have opportunity to start it, or I didn't know how I'm gonna start it. But the key is how it's work. We were painting one of the house, and one of the hedge fund guy, like this, he was trading at this time, and we were painting his house. He came up and he said, Eric, how much is going to be cost to paint the garage? I look at it. I say it's going to be around 30,000. He say 1 second, and he was like just doing the numbers and everything. He say, what about 19? I say no, it's going to be 30. And he say, okay. He just keep doing numbers and pushing the buttons and everything. He say, what about 26? I'm like, 26? We are almost the number. And he say, okay,
The
one
meet in the
second. He
middle,
go
30.
and say, what about 29? I say, fine. Then he click, and that's it. He make the $29,000.
That's a
And
Jack
I say,
Kellogg move right there.
Yeah, that's a
yeah. I say, damn, I have to do it.
like he did it on purpose. There, he's like, let's show this guy that I'll pay for his the garage and right in front of his face.
Yep. Then I start with the Tim. I start to learning all this. I start to watch his videos. Read his stuff and try to learn. But it wasn't the easy road. It was up and down. My first maybe 2, 3 account, I blow up. I was doing good. Then I started getting. I say, okay, I know everything. I can do that. Then the account is blow up. That I put in money again and start trading, it's blow up again. Because how it's work, as soon as you think that you're doing right, and after that everything is go wrong, you know, because the market is really, really teach you lesson, and like this, everybody said that, oh, don't be get cocky because market is gonna be, put you the really good motion. It's really true because I was doing really great. All of a sudden, I lost everything. I blew up the account. Then after I said that to myself, it have to be way to learn and trade this stuff. Then I start to get into education, and I did it to all this webinar, like this webinar stuff, and I did, watch all these YouTubes. I go all the boot camps, the team, and I meet up the mostly students over there, mostly you guys over there too. And after that, my works, my other stuff is gets more heavy, so I give little break, then I always go back. But I was keep studying. But the trading is this. This is what I learned. The knowledge is very important. You have to put the knowledge first. Then you need to be patient to click. Everything have to be click. Otherwise, it's not working. I was trading. Yes, I was making money. Like this, the last time when all the oil stocks was running crazy, INDO and everything. I was making like this in 2 days. I did little over $100,000. And I think that I was doing good, right? Like this $100,000. Then next day, the INDO is go to 85. I make maybe another $7,000, $8,000, and I didn't know what's the first red day pattern, and it's dumped all the way to $30. 85 to $30. Then I lost about $70,000, $80,000.
Yeah,
So
gave most of it back,
it's the knowledge you have to learn. I think you have to learn the chart very well. How the chart is developed and how it's work. You have to learn all the patterns. And you have to learn like this with the volume, how the chart is act and how it's move, And with this, I started doing right now. I think I'm doing better because I have the knowledge and everything clicks. It's just getting better.
Absolutely. And so when you, if you go back to you seeing this hedge fund guy make money right in front of you, what year was this for a timeline?
It was 2017.
Okay. Yeah. So
It was
roughly a little
2017.
right around where
Yeah,
you
I
roughly
So
started.
you watched this hedge fund guy making big dollars. Was it just that you knew you couldn't trade like that, and to get back into it, the only education you found was in small caps, or was it why did you decide to jump into small caps?
because the small caps, you know, first um, when you look at the bigger cap is they move very last and you're not going to be able to make it good money. You will, but it's going to be take the long term. Okay. And the small cap is more easy to make the money when you compare with the long term, when you compare with the, bigger cap.
Yeah.
So I like the small cap because like today, the stock I was trading, it's go to 240, 250%
Yeah.
up.
Huge.
It
Yeah.
was crazy, crazy. You're not gonna see this kind of movement in the bigger cap.
Right.
So
So
that's
were you only long biased for a long time?
yes, hope, long buyers, wishes, and keep praying. Yeah, I have so many pray books. I bought it. Keep praying, praying.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
this is what happened when you like all the beginners has all the beginners and everybody's the same. You buy the stock and you see it's keep going, and you're doing good and you think that it's gonna go always, it's gonna be keep going, it's not gonna stop or it's not gonna fail.
You forget the
Like
stocks go down. They just keep
yeah,
going. Yeah. Yeah.
you're forgetting. Like I was buying in $2 and it's hit the $354. I was so happy, All of a sudden, the pattern, the movement is shift, and the pattern is start going down. And I'm like, just keep praying, to go up. I didn't cut it. Then, you are in red.
Right.
So, in the beginning, I was the long biased. I always, buy and let it go long, and I never get out, never cut it. Then if it's go long, higher, it's good for me. I make money. But if it's, momentum shift, it's go down. I didn't make money. I lost money. Then I change it with you guys. I start doing short, and this is the really good about it. Like if you are long buyers and you go to short, you will see the pattern better. Or if you doing the short and you see like this when the momentum switch, you will be by the long and you will be good long buyers too. So right now, like this in the beginning pre-market, I see how the stock is. Like I know the most charts. I every day I have the chart sheet. I copy my charts. I see what I did. Every night I look at it. Okay. And when I look at the most charts, I know how it's developed the chart, how it's created. I say, okay, when it's hit the bottom, it's two, points. It's gonna start to go long. I will go long. Then when the top is came, I switch. I do shorts. You know, so
So
that's
now
that's
you
how I
do a
started.
nice mix of it all. You try
Yes,
not to look at it with, oh, I want to short this or oh, I want to long this. You just whatever the chart calls for.
yes, exactly.
And
That's
when
how
Okay.
it's.
and when you say your profits are pretty 50-50 in that sense, or even though, like for me, I will be open to going long and short, but just inevitably, based on my own personality in the markets, like most of my money comes from the short side. Do you find any stronger bias just based on how much you typically make for one side or the other?
My most monies came the short too. Okay, because again, the short is you waiting really like this. You need to be patient. You patient to be chart setup. Like this today's biggest mistake it was I wasn't patient. I jump in right away in $2. I start to shorting in 210, 220, and my averages get like this 240. And when the stock is ripping, I already was negative. But if I sit back right now, I go like this, I sit back, I look at the chart and I see the top, and after it's start coming down and it's settling and it's pushed back again, it's gonna come down. I know how I'm gonna short it. So, short is I think the short version, it's more, how you put it? Like this is more, not the easy, but
Conviction.
yes, yes,
Okay.
instead of the long buy, you know?
It's almost like an inverse. Like if longing is hoping, shorting is like digging in a little bit. It's like the opposite. You're like it's it maybe not. In some instances, it might not be conviction, but it might be like yeah, whatever the opposite of hoping is. Like a little bit, almost like some overconfidence. You get convicted. That's at least how I feel when I'm shorting something, just because
But
they're
when you see
all
the
crappy.
chart like this, when you see the chart is make the top, then you know that the momentum is changing, right? Then you start getting ready to short, correct? But the long buyers, you know what they do? They start thinking it's gonna go more. They never think that the momentum is gonna change. So even if this, start to crashing, they say, "Oh, keep buying. Let's go. It's gonna go up." But it's never,
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully, that never happened to me. I'm so paranoid. Like I'm a long bias trader, but I'm so paranoid with it that I expect to be wrong. And so, I'm using trading a lot less frequently than you on the chart. Like I'm trying to be in for bigger moves, but really trying to risk off of levels that if it goes under, then the chart should be dead, and we should continue to go lower. But I always found myself on the short side is where I really opened up the door for disaster because that same like conviction, right? Like I think Kyle was just trying to say is like it shouldn't go any higher. The valuation's a lot lower. Like it's already up 200%. It's already up 300%. Like where's the bigger pullback? Where's the breakthrough VWAP? And I don't know. I think like what you said, I think it's really good for people to learn both sides because when you stop trying to be so right in terms of it has to go up or it has to go down, and you just trade the momentum in one way or the other, I think you see it a lot more clearly because you're not trying to be right. You're just trying to be proven right from your original idea. You're just following with what the stock is, what it's showing you.
Correct. Correct. You have to see what the charts give it to you. You know, it's it's wrong if you keep thinking it's gonna go always up or it's gonna be go always down. Even today's another mistake I was doing when it's hit the 241. 241 is the key level. Hit 241, momentum change, it start to go on long, and after it's gonna momentum change, hit the 241 again. Like I was keep saying, okay, it's gonna go under 241. It's gonna go under 241. I shouldn't be pushing like this. I should say,
Yeah.
okay, it's hit the 241, switch it you know,
Yep.
cover it, take the profit, and start to go long. Then after when it's hit the top, switch it. But I didn't because I was so black out. That's another thing. You have to have open mind. You have to be able to really put yourself like this separated from anything and look at the chart and what the chart is give it to you, and it will be perfect. Like the first week I traded, you know, like I started with right now different account. I started with $40,000 this month, okay, and I'm trading full month to see what I can do because I think that I will be able to get really good, like just with the charts and all this, moving stuff. So first week I did a great job and like I was doing 6,000, 10,000, okay. Then the last day I did it like 1,500, so it was good. The second week, beginning, I did it 15,000. Then after I did it another 14,000. So I say to myself, my process is doing really very well. But my problem is I was keep looking the P&L, okay? And I think that this is affecting me. So I shut it off the Wednesday, last Wednesday.
Okay.
Then,
Yeah. Yeah. Your equity, how much your account is worth, or your
yeah,
unrealized, just to say.
yep. So I turn off and I started trading. It was very slow day, and I was up like this couple $1,000, I think. Then the stock is started ripping, and I start to get panic again, and I start to covering, and I say to myself, "This is gonna go long," and I start to buying, and it's turned to short, and I start to turn back to short, turn back to long. I get chaos, and all of a sudden, I turn back the account. I was down $29,000. You know,
This
it,
and
wa-
this
it,
is this is INVO today.
that one, yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
one. You know, I was like this done. So I guess I wasn't ready for that. But right now it's every day when you put the hours, when you are in the front of the computer, in front of the all these charts and move, you know, I think you get better. And you're emotionally, you're mentally, you get better.
And so when that happens to you, right, a day like today where you open up you're realized and you're like, oh, we're down. We're down much more than I expected. Do you ever take days off? I know you shared in the chat room today. You stuck with it and actually ended up nailing the short late day. But what does your process look like then? When you're faced with a little bump in the road like that, is it usually met with taking time off? Is it met with giving it one more shot? Like what was going through your head then for the rest of the day?
Okay. Basically what I do after that, I go out, walk, try to clean my head. Okay. And tomorrow is gonna be new day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like last week when I lost the 29K, then after I made it everything in the next 2 days, I did the same thing. Tomorrow is gonna be new day, and every day has an opportunity. You cannot stick with the yesterday. Okay. So even if it's bad day or you did it worse and you lost, whatever, it's past. Then I come back to office, I sit and I look at the chart and I say to myself, where did I make the mistake? What was my mistake? Then I write it in the note, I put them in the front of the computer, and next day I try to not do that. So that was the main thing.
Cool.
Take off is, again, it's listen, I do a lot of things. The life is really tough. It's not easy. You have to deal it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how many times you get punched, you fail, you get up and you have to work hard. You fight hard.
Tell him, Dom. What does he have to do?
It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much you
Yeah.
can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
No.
Exactly.
There we go.
I mean, if you aren't going to listen to me, listen to Rocky. But all right. So when it comes to your style, so you're doing a little bit of everything, trying to follow the trends. I also notice you always seem to be watching a little bit. Today you seem to be watching the biggest gapper of the day, but a lot of times you're watching some tickers that maybe aren't on our radar, or you're buying stuff in pre-market. It's usually like you're watching stuff for one day, and then I feel like then tomorrow it's a whole slew of new tickers. How do you decide what you want to trade?
Okay. I look at my scanner, you know, and I watch the Good Morning Nasdaq. Okay. That's the best thing. Um, I look at my scanner and I see, what's the highest percentage is up. I go and I check the tickers, see it has any news or, any information. And I look at the, full charts. Like as I look at it, 2 3 years, see what the charts did it. And if I see it's always like this gap up and after it fails, gap up fails, and I say it's bullshit. Doesn't matter how much is the news is strong, it's just the bullshit.
Yeah.
Then after I create my plans and I see the pre-market how the volume is go, and I see if I recognize the chart, because I will maybe post it later in the chat. You guys gonna see like this. I have 30 40 charts. It's same movement. They do everything same.
Of pre-market
So
action?
yeah, prime market action. Then after it's opening, it depends the volume. If one is get higher volume, it will be push up higher, and is you see the whatever's the number it can be go, whatever the percentage it will be go. So I see if I recognize the chart, and then I created my plan and stick with my plan.
So most of your plan is getting created in pre-market. Like you don't necessarily know what you're going to do tomorrow morning.
Exactly. If I have anything from today, like this, yesterday's the wise was really up because, and it was a lot of manipulation because SSR, it was the things, it's really push hard. And today
Hmm.
I know that like this in the pre-market, it's go so hard, and then I believe that it's gonna be fails, but it didn't get the volume and everything, but I was stuck with the other chart. Mostly every day is new for me. I look at the scanner, I pick my stock, and I traded.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's so so you've taken something that we all really struggle with, which is day one stuff, and you're not just going long, you're not just going short. You're saying day one gappers, I'm just going to do whatever it calls for. And what you've done to back test is just compile a list of, you said, I don't know, tens and tens of different charts and trying to find anomalies within them, try to find what volume looks like, which dictates certain price action, probably looking at levels like when it breaks pre-market highs in certain markets versus other markets. And that's where
Right.
you've put all of your attention is just, are you then, do you normally trade all day long like you did today on INVO, or is the goal to kind of attack the morning move and then move on?
Usually I attack in the morning and I take my mostly profits, like this 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then they call the zombie hours is that is the stock is, start to getting ripping again or something, but I take my profit. Then if I see anything more juicy and people is trading, I will take a look at it. If not, I will sit and watch. I try
Okay.
to sit and watch and see if I can be able to do another attack. Another level is came up and I will be comfortable and do another attack and take the short again.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I have a slightly different topic here. You obviously still do construction. You have your own construction business.
Yes.
I know you're still making me the house next year. That's okay. We can. I know it got delayed, but it's all right. We can work on that. But with handling that and dealing with that, for people who also have another, say, call it full-time job that try to revolve and juggle trading, maybe for you it's a little bit easier because you kind of are able to pick your own schedule with both gigs or both jobs. How have you had to, or what's your process behind juggling both those things? Does one take priority over the other? Is one doesn't even conflict with the other at all, so it's very easy for you? How does that? How do you handle both?
Okay. It's
You tell the hedge fund guys, hey, I know you want your garage painted, but like I'm making more money than you now. Like I'll come after the market closes. Like what are we doing?
it's definitely not easy. Definitely not easy. Like there's sometimes guys calls and say, "Oh, they have a problem. I have to go to job site,"
Mm-hmm.
or like there's the client calls, they changing the change, like they giving the change order, they want to see me over there. So it's not really easy. I don't, even if I set up my time, I say, okay, I'm gonna do this, but always is, end up with something else. But the point is, when you have to use your time very well, manage your time. So how it's work for me, I always get the office around 5 a.m. and I started reading the news, check everything, and I go through the pre-markets. When I was around 7 o'clock, 6:37, I start to call my guys, set up them, I give them to order what they have to do, okay? Then around 8 o'clock, I check the stocks again, getting ready for my picking the stocks, which one I'm gonna trade, okay? And I start to watching that one and start to making my trading plan. And when I finish my trading plan, I give the call the guys first because I don't like them to they call me around between 9:30. It's killing me. So I call the guys, I check with them to everything is make sure it's good. Then after I call the gas stations because I own the gas station too. I have two gas stations. Now I'm building the 7-Elevens and the constructions. So I call the gas station, make sure they are good. Okay. So after that, I start the trading. When trading is as soon as it's hit to my plan, I will be comfortable. So I can be able to take the calls or I can be able to deal if anything is come. But look like today, if it's not good, I have to turn off to my phone and start to deal with that.
I'm not picking up
So
anybody's calls at that point.
yeah. When the trading is finished, I get in the car and I go to job site. I check all the jobs, what they did. I write the notes. How much work we did it, what we, end up, and what's our plan? Did we follow the plan or not? Then I go to gas stations. I take all the drops. I count the money. I do the shift. Then I run to bank. I deposit that. Then I come to office. Then I do paperwork and go to bed around 12:30, almost 1 o'clock. Sleep and next morning get up again.
Do it all over again. Very nice.
It's a long day.
Oh yeah, it's I sleep about 3.5, 4 hours every day, except Sunday. Sunday is totally different.
What's on
I
Sunday?
sleep in Sunday.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
I sleep in until 9, 10 o'clock.
I thought you were gonna hit me with the.
Hey,
I thought you were gonna say, yeah, Sunday's totally different. I get 2 hours of sleep on
six and a
Sunday.
half, 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nah, Sunday is my day. I love Sundays.
There you go. Cool. Cool. Well, very nice, Eric. Very successful in many assets or facets of life. It's awesome to see.
Thank you.
Let's see. We're about halfway through it, guys. If you have questions for Eric, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll happily
I'm
ask
looking
Eric.
for
And,
any right now.
what's up? Or the
I'm
Dom's looking
looking
for some.
for them.
And so, did Eric? Did you?
Congratulates you. Oh wait, no, go. You go.
Did
Just
you
by
say-
your stupid engagement.
You end up covering INVO by the close, correct? So you're flat, or are you swinging any?
No, I'm flat.
Flat.
I cover.
Yeah. Covered it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You know, if it's not like this, I don't do the swing because like this. My strategy is tomorrow is the new day, and always have opportunity. So I don't swim too much. And if I like this, if I really need it, I swim. If the other then I cover.
Right. No big deal. Did you ever swing VFS? Because you were nailing that one back in August.
The Boston boot camp.
Yeah, that was a great one to swing. I wish I joined you on that one. That one was sweet.
That one I did.
Yeah.
That one is
too
really good.
Yeah, too good. But were you talking about Dom? But the Jeffrey congratulates me on my engagement. Thank you, Jeffrey. And then he just got engaged to his now fiance in Aruba. Congrats. I've heard Aruba's very nice, but I've
Nice.
never been.
Arugula.
Arugula? No. Aruba.
All right. Well, if you guys have questions, we'll be here for a little while. So get them in, whether they're directly for Eric or for the group or topics. We'd be happy to answer them. How's your beer over there, Eric?
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Did you trade today? Did you trade today?
Not really. I'm kind of doing the algo stuff, not the algo, the day one gapper stuff. I started with like tiny size that Huddy is doing. But none of that's my information, so I don't post about it or anything because it's not my ideas or anything. But I was watching IMVO, I lost on it, probably before you lost on it. And that was pretty much it. That one in Wizza, which looked like it went to 11s after hours.
Yeah.
Back
and after
to
it's
it.
go back to
9s or 8s.
9:16.
Yeah, market
Nice.
seems pretty boring right now in terms of overall plays. I don't know what the SPY or the overall market ended up at today, but momentum feels bleh.
Spy went lower today, I believe.
Did
Yeah,
it?
Spies dropped to 500.
Wonderful.
Amazing.
So maybe we get an influx of gappers. Maybe the rest of the week is really boring. But I haven't made my watch list yet tonight. But there's not a lot of daily charts that have held up over the past week. All the oil and gas stocks are dead.
Yeah, that was crazy, right? It didn't run too much. Because I was
not-
hoping
dude,
it's
I
gonna
feel-
be.
When was the last time we got like a round 2 out of anything? Like
Yeah.
the weed stocks tried and they got like one day, and then they got destroyed on the day that they ran. Yeah, I don't know. There was JagX yesterday. What did that end up doing today? Did that go down? Let's see
I
what.
think that went down.
16 cents?
15, yeah, it died.
That's the breakout level though.
All right, keep an eye on that one.
If it is going to become TTOO.
It'll keep going.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm gonna make my watch list after this, but it's seems like every week there's kind of it's a tale of two halves. Whether it's really fast then really slow, or really slow then really fast, or really fast the whole way through. But feels like all the opportunities.
We don't
the best
have
of
really
them.
like this hard, we don't have really hot sector right now. Like this
We
is
had
gonna take
nothing.
couple weeks.
Yeah,
Right.
need everything to cycle out, and then something to get. Maybe we get like 3 or 4 days where all the gaps fail, and then something squeezes someone out. I mean, we've had day one runners with Wizza.
What was it yesterday?
AAVL a couple days ago. INVL was a headache for most people. It just didn't continue. It didn't do its final leg of anger. So we've had day one stuff. Let me see my scanner. We just haven't really had any daily charts hold up.
IZM today
INVO
was
is still the highest one, the highest percent gainer of the day.
yeah. IZM today was a weird one. I mean, I didn't trade that, nor did I really know anyone who did, per se. But that was a weird one that we saw on stream there this morning.
Can I guess what your watch list is going to say about it?
Yeah, you can guess. What do you think I'm going to say?
It's going to say incredible dump here. Unfortunate that it happened in pre-market. So I definitely am not going to be putting on enough risk to be trading that at the open when it's already down like 90%. Only way I would trade this tomorrow is if in the pre-market I wake up and it's churning tons of volume in the pre-market, and then maybe I would take a quick short, risking off the highs for a fade back into today's levels.
Oh,
He knows.
He knows.
But only if there's a ton of volume.
Ton of
He
volume
knows.
and maybe a little gap up, and then makes you think it's bullish, and it's not, and it craps itself. But this is the first one I've seen dump. Like the entire dump happened pre-market, and then pretty much from the open to the rest of the day,
bounced.
it went up.
Yeah.
Like it halted down the first minute, and then we watched it, kind of chop around for a little bit. But pretty much like the first, few trading candles of the day was like the low, and then it just traded higher the rest of the day. It's a very weird one.
It had that midday bounce back, and then I don't know. It's
But-
already right around 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so, Caveman here he asked this question, I think, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I don't know what it is with him. But Caveman has any Holy Grail question mark. Don't know what he means yet by Holy Grail, other than a setup that or a strategy that doesn't lose. But then he followed it up with, do you use Fibonacci? Oh, he says Fib exit or Fib EXT. I'm assuming it's Fibonacci levels or Fibonacci retracement. Fibonacci. What indicators do you we'll broaden it here for you. What indicators do you use, Eric? Are you a fan of any in particular? Or are you just a price action volume guy?
It's mostly price action volume. I use the VHAP, okay? And that's all. I don't use the Fibonacci.
Yeah.
Because when I use an all this indicator, I don't know, I believe the indicator and I trust the indicator, and I don't do the work. But with the price action, I do the work, because every time it start to going up or down, and you start to creating the new system or new strategies, the saying, okay, volume is going up, why? People is buying, okay, the stock is hit the top or not, and you start to seeing is they going the sideway or not, and you start to doing your lines. That's all. I do a lot of lines. I draw a lot of lines,
You're a lines guy. All right. Kellogg's a lines guy.
I love lines. Sometimes I think I overestimate how important some lines are.
You overline it?
You can always overline it. There's enough levels from daily chart to pre-market to intraday to yesterday. You can get a line for everything.
That's kind of why. I mean, I do appreciate drawing lines, but maybe I've refrained from doing so because for that reason of like I don't want to get too caught up in my own thoughts, but although some lines are better drawn than others, so I don't know. It's all a matter of experience. I think Eric and Jack have it pretty nailed down.
But look at it, the stock. If you have the line in 241 later, put it the line 241, and look at it. What you're gonna see, that the stock is go hit 241 and change the momentum. Then it's do the top, come back again, hit the 241, change the momentum. So it's telling you something. 241 is the really strong support, and if not gonna break that support, it's not gonna go down. So, you don't need to short it. Like when you sit to 241 and you're seeing it's not going down, you change it and you start to go long.
That was a good
How'd you
little
come
line.
up with 241 today?
It held. It was first resistance in pre-market-ish. Then it was support. I think like
When you look at it, it's in the first hit is, let me see.
it's almost like that 240, 250 level. There's kind of like this little
Well, there was a big daily chart level at 250.
so maybe that
Yeah.
was it.
1130 is dropped to 241 and going that. I think the lines is really helps the trade.
Yeah, So for in this case, when you're looking at like a 241, you're either and so when back to what Dom was mentioning earlier, like you were either long or short something just based on how you read the action. You were willing to either a long INVO with a risk on one or 241 or short it under 241. Like how does that? Is it like if it's above or under gives you kind of the bias per se, long or short?
Yes, yes. And if it's like this, if the momentum change over there and start the volume is going up, sometimes I do lines in the volume too. I do the triangle lines and see if the volumes is start to creating, and I see it and I say, okay, it's not gonna go down. Then I switch it. Then after I go long. And if it's break it, like sometimes if it's break it, I'm not gonna right away short it. I just gonna wait. It can be fake breakout too. Because it's gonna be happen too, So if it's break it and I confirm and it will be go up. Like this yesterday, I was at the like there's a trading conference, I guess. The Success Trade is like there's organized that one. And everybody was trading, everybody like this, we were trading the Ys and everybody see the dead candle, okay? So you have the signal for the dead candle hits, then everybody start to shorting, right? Right after that candle, the stock start to rip up. All the shorters get caught because they don't wait. They don't wait to get really confirmed. It start to going up. And it start to go up. Then after its momentum change and get another dead, candle, which is this long and powerful candle. You think that it's gonna be turned to short? No, it's switch back. It start to go up. Alex was, trading yesterday with the group, first morning time until 12:30, he lost about $150,000.
Ouch.
Because he think that same thing, oh, here's the dead candle. Okay, let's everybody start to shorting. Boom, the stock will start to going up, Shorting again, start to going up. Then afternoon, when the momentum is changed, he sized up really big. He shorted about 81,000 shares. Then he's, start to making money and try to catch up the loss, but end up is, I think is, he lost $80,000 something, It was really choppy, that stock yesterday.
Yeah.
Not fun at all, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Trust
me.
Have a question or two.
I'll leave it to
Someone
you, Dom.
says Eric is a big deal. J Bone says INVO is a pain in the butt for him.
INVO today, guys. If you watch the stream, I got short. You guys saw me get short, and I guess if I reflect on the stream, I never really said where I was risking, but I knew any strong or consistent hold over 3 I wasn't gonna like it, but I ended up placing my stop at 350. Risk reward wise, not great, obviously, but it was with gappers I like. What's up?
What was the top?
The top. So yeah, that's what I'm getting to. So I like risking. What I found is from learning from Huddy and watching and what he's been doing. It's like usually in my own experience, like the gappers need to kind of be wide risk. Otherwise, and today's a perfect example because it can be choppy. I placed my stop order at 350, and this is why if you watch the Clover story, I actually put this out because I think some people think, and maybe I was under that impression too, that like if you put a stop order at 350 and it hits 350, it probably triggers, right? But today, I'm watching INVO and I watch it hit 350 and like tick into 350 and set the high at 350, but my stop order doesn't go off, which I'm okay with because frankly, I want to see it break 350 before I exit, right?
And what was your average?
My average was 255. It was terrible. Like risk reward wise is awful, like I said. But I had
and
it.
How many shares did you have?
Like 7,000. So it would have been like a $7,000 loss. Nothing crazy, but a little bit bigger than average. And yeah, so I was like, I just didn't get stopped out, and it failed, and I was like, great. Like this is what we're doing then. This is like risking the highs like I want. And again, it chopped around for another 2-3 hours, but like eventually it stuffed out of nowhere back to 250, and then by late day it's at 180, and I covered there. So I made like $5,000 or so instead. But
that's good.
Just I
Dom,
got lucky there. right on the
Did you
cusp.
see his action? He's like, "This is great. It's hit the 350. It didn't go." And I was sweating and trying to control and
Yeah, like
everything.
our
He's like,
experiences were
"Great.
completely different.
Yeah, great. It's hit the 350. That's fine. Let's cheers, you know?"
Oh, it's so funny how
Yeah.
our experiences were completely different. But
I was just
sorry,
lucky not
go
to get
ahead, Don.
stopped.
You're looking now.
Furani asks, I'm trying to stick to my setups and I find that I'm missing a lot of moves, which happens, but then I hear people talk about how you need to adapt in trading or you won't make it long term in this game. How do you guys deal with that balance?
This is a good question. What are your thoughts, Eric? Do you deal with this at all? Like, do you get
Oh
FOMO
yeah.
from missing moves that you think you maybe don't take, but do see it on a particular day?
I get upset, but I at this time I don't get upset too because tomorrow is going to be a new day, new opportunity. But adopting the market is very important. Like even in the chat, I said that last week, like almost week and a half, all the gappers in the opening, it's failed, and it's failed so fast. And all day it started dropping, 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 except yesterday and today we saw really push out. We didn't see like this kind of move, last week and a half, 2 weeks. We don't have the 240, 250% gain. So tomorrow, what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna jump right away. I'm gonna wait and see how it's acting, how it's the chart is developing, and then I'm gonna start to get in my, strategy. But it's adapting the, market is really important, really important.
Um, the way I feel like they might be thinking about this, and I love that answer about adapting to the day to day, especially with gappers. And I try to tell people this in Good Morning Nasdaq. Like, I feel like it's so important if you're going to be buying these things that you have a really good understanding of what the like 2 to 3 day environment we're in right now is, because that it seems to be like it affects it so much, whether things are spiking, whether things are failing, whether they're being headaches, whether they're fading all day, whether they're becoming multi-day runners. There seems to always be a theme there. But I think Fu Randy's talking about is like I buy OTC breakouts for a living and they don't happen every day, but I see all these things happening and everyone's telling me I got to adapt to make it in the game. And I think it's a really difficult and tough thing to answer because everyone's so different. I've definitely dealt with this a lot. I remember in 2019 trying to adapt my strategies from OTC to listed stocks, and I went about it in like a too random of a way. I started doing everything. I started talking to people that were buying stuff in pre-market, people who were shorting day ones, people who were shorting parabolics, shorting pumps. And if you introduce too many new things at once, like it's not really adapting at that point. I feel like you're just, anytime you do too much in this game, you're going to have random results and you're not going to find consistency. For me, the
Correct.
best way to go about adapting, your strategies, I don't adapt in trading. I see now I don't know if they're talking about new strategies or adapting. Whatever it is, if you're talking about adding new strategies in to adapt to the market, take it slow. Talk to people that do it. Talk to people who have proven success doing it. Don't jump in all at once, and pick something that makes sense to you. Don't go and do something completely different and random just because someone else is doing well at it or you saw it on a YouTube video. If you're a primarily long bias trader, find something that's a little bit different than what you do, but is showing it more frequency, whether that's looking at day ones, whether that's buying weekday twos, whether it's just adding a little nuance to your game that doesn't dramatically affect your P&L too badly in the initial stages when you're still learning it, but can offer good upside when that market is hot. So that way you at least have something else in your arsenal to be able to use when it's more applicable.
Definitely. I agree with you.
Yeah,
How do you read the question, Kyle? Because now I can't decide what the question's asking.
The first sentence stands out to me, which is I'm trying to stick to my setups and I find that I'm missing a lot of moves, which happens. I'm assuming she means missing moves that aren't her setups. Because if you're
That's what
missing
I
moves
thought.
that are
Okay.
your setups, well, then it's like you got to make sure you take them, right? Part of a setup, it means you take it. So if it's just other moves of other stocks trading, I would caution against that because that's never going to go away. Because what I mean by that, it doesn't really matter if you have, like for me, I mean, at this stage in my career, like I technically have anywhere from between 12 to probably, yeah, I would say a dozen setups that I understand, I could see happen in the market, and I technically could feel comfortable taking that trade and over the long run probably make money from that setup, right? Even with 12, there are still moves that I see happen, and I'm like, wow, like how cool would it have been to been short here and make that much money, or been long here and make that much money? There's always moves that you're never going to be a part of, and that's okay. So
Exactly.
I wouldn't go down that rabbit hole of feel like if you're missing a move, it's because you're not having enough setups, and because especially if your setups aren't happening, right? If there's a day where you don't take a trade, but you see trader X, Y, and Z, trader A, B, and C, and Chad
Hell.
and Randy and Eric and whoever, just banking over here. I wouldn't fall into that trap. Now, if you want to adapt in terms of just adding another setup to your arsenal, sure, right? If there's a maybe a common move you constantly see happen, and it's maybe a breakout setup, or it's a breakdown setup. It's just a setup that you see happen over and over again, and you're drawn to it. There's nothing wrong with adapting and adding that to your arsenal, but you're never going to get rid of the missing every move. Like you can have 24 setups and you will still miss moves. It's just how trading
Yeah,
is.
you're gonna miss always. It's no matter what.
Right.
Like just today, I missed the Wise, and I was saying, I wish I shorted. It was really nice, going easy, and I was like sweating with the other stock fighting. But again, you're always gonna miss. You don't need to feel bad.
Right. Right.
I guess that's the beauty of the market, no? Like there's, some people is making really like this big money. Some people is, losing money, and you see the move, you see like this all, I think it's the beauty of the market. It's all important. You just need to put the knowledge and try to really see what's your setup, what's your comfortable. Because I'm really comfortable for the day first, because I do my, search and everything. Like if the pattern is go 2, 3, 4 days, I'm not good. I'm not good, because I lost.
Right.
Well, I think that's what's important too. Is like it's not just like Kyle says he has 12 setups in his arsenal. I know what they all are, and let's call it parabolic shorts, right? I know that he does this. I know when it's happening. I know before I see that he's going to talk about it or put a trade alert out about a ticker that it's setting up on, but I don't take the trade. And I don't ever feel any negative emotions in myself for watching that setup. I more get excited for Kyle about the trade he's about to have. And the reason I don't have any negative emotion, where maybe I did towards the beginning or maybe when I wasn't as profitable, and you have more FOMO than you do when you start to really just maximize your own setups. And it's because that setup is not for me. I know everything about it that Kyle's looking for, and I could explain it from if he put a trade alert out, I could tell you everything he saw, why he did it, what his idea is, how many tries he's going to give it, where his price target is. I can tell you all that about Kyle's trade, but I won't take it for myself because it doesn't work for me, because it leads to bigger losses, because I won't stop trying. And there's enough negative that it means I won't be profitable on it long term, or because I just don't have the mental fortitude to do that type of pattern. And I think you need to realize that not every pattern's for everybody. And just because you see someone else doing well at something, or you have an idea, oh, I think INVO is going to squeeze everyone today, and then it happens. That's not enough for you to say, oh, I would be profitable at it if I tried to do it every day forever. And if you do feel confident, sorry, the hiccups, about your core setups, and they're just not happening every day, it is what it is. It will, it will catch up to you over time if you continue to do what Eric's saying, putting in the knowledge, getting better and better at your setup. Like if you're already proven to be good at something, the sky's the limit to how good you can be at it. We can always get better at our setups. It's very difficult to become good at something that we're really weak in an area of the market that we don't make money currently in. It's really hard to turn that into a positive. I would rather focus on where I am successful and accept that it's maybe doesn't show up as often, and to the point of, like in our case in OTCs in 2018, we had to switch over to listed, or they were extinct. Until that happens to your setups, I'd go about it very slowly about learning new things. And really, really study the new pattern inside and out before you actually start trading it.
And you guys, like this, yesterday, one of the question I got is the person was really studying, but after that he's doing the paper trade, which is I'm always against the paper trade, no matter what.
You
Tell
are?
I
us why.
think I think I'd rather to trade one share, take one share, go long or short with the one share, but don't do paper trade. He was showing me all this stuff he studies and everything. You know, technical, he was perfect. Technical, he was perfect. And he put it in the paper trade, it was perfect. But it's when it's come to real one, he said that he's shaking because it's the emotion,
Where the emotion comes to play.
yeah.
Yep.
So I think it's better to like just learn, to about the charts and all these things and start to trade one share. See if it's work for you. See if you are comfortable. Maybe you will see the move, you're not gonna see the move, then you're gonna change your system. So I
Yeah.
think it's
If you do 3 months of trading one share and you prove profitability, well, I mean, because if you can take it serious enough when there's one share on the line and have the emotions of actually being in the market and do it long enough to prove to yourself that it's worth it or not, you'll learn more doing that, I feel like, than paper trading. But it also will save yourself money if it's not for you and you go and try and trade 1,000 shares every time. So
right.
I tend to agree. William Gregory just made it in, says finally made it. He missed the whole webinar with Lindsay. Um, Fu Randy says, yes, I did mean core setups and then other things moving. I feel like my knowledge has not caught up to my P&L yet. I
Does
remember feeling that way. I remember very vividly being like, when I started to really be like, I deserve to be profitable. Like, I've been putting in like
well
15, 17 hours a day.
wait, but I want to clarify here. It says I feel like my knowledge has not caught up to my P&L yet.
Wait,
Is that saying you
I
are
feel like it.
up on you actually are profitable and you actually feel like you shouldn't be profitable because your knowledge
I read
isn't,
that wrong, but maybe I'm still right.
or well if you're negative and your knowledge is better than like your P&L catching up to your knowledge that way, or
That's what
it's
I
your
thought.
knowledge catching up like your P&L. Yeah, we other
She
way
said the way I said it. The way
well,
I said it.
yeah, other way around. Okay, good, because I'll just
You
say,
have a ton of knowledge, but you're not making money yet.
but that's see to give you maybe a sense of encouragement. I don't know if this is coming off the right way. That I would argue that also will never happen. Like the amount of knowledge that I feel like I have in the markets, I feel like I have enough knowledge to be a $10 million man. But where's my equity curve? It's at around 5, right? You're always. I think that's the game of trading. You're always chasing that next better level of yourself because you know it exists and because you know you're studying and learning a lot. But the reality, that's what makes it a market. Like Eric was saying, like there's just always that strife and give and take, whether it be from people or market to person. Like there's. I almost am accepting. I will never be my P&L will never catch up to my knowledge if I keep learning. Right? If I stop learning,
Yeah.
then maybe they'll be even in some hypothetical scenario. But like, I understand it's certainly more serious if you aren't as profitable as you want to be yet. Totally. It's easier for me to say that when I've already kind of done what I've planned to do from the beginning. So I understand that, but just understand that that little feeling you have, at least in my opinion, doesn't necessarily go away either. That's kind of still there for me in some cases.
I feel like when you say that, like, oh, I could be a $10 million man or something, and that's the fun. It's not the knowledge that's separating you from that, because I feel like you could vividly go back and write down on a piece of paper right now 20 situations or markets in which you had done one very small thing different, you would have doubled your overall total. Like if 2020 and 2021 you could have over, would you be a $10 million man with the
Absolutely. If I
knowledge?
do it over again?
This, yeah.
Absolutely.
And you just had the same mindset that Kellogg had of he was just so spot on and it wasn't going to last longer than it did.
Mm-hmm.
And so he pushed and pushed and pushed and took more risk because it was time. How many big plays have you ended up being red on, but if you had not made one crucial error, you would have been insanely green on? Or if you just taken it a little bit bigger size or recognized a market while it was happening and gone a little bit bigger. It's not because of knowledge that you didn't do that. It's because of like maybe your emotions, maybe a bad read on the market. Maybe you took too long to realize the type of market you were in. I think that is it is like the thing. It's like you aren't ever going to get to where you should be. And that's okay because it just keeps us chasing this dream because life's fun chasing this dream.
Now Franny says, well, great, so I'm going to be unprofitable forever. Thanks, Kyle. That's not what I meant, but I yeah. But no. And so if I'm putting myself in your shoes to close up this topic is, I know what you mean, right? You feel like you know enough, but you're just not getting where you want to go. And that comes down to, well, and also this brings you more context. If you are unprofitable, but you have your setups, well, then maybe they're not your setups at all. Like you're thinking about adapting. Like if whatever you're trying is not actually getting you profitable yet, then they may not even be your setups, even though in your brain you're committing to them. For example, for me, is like I was unprofitable with breakouts for the longest time because I wanted to be good with breakouts. But once I just realized if I just avoid buying and trying to buy breakouts and just focus on shorting stocks, like I don't need to buy breakouts to be profitable. And so I threw buying breakouts out for a very long time. It wasn't until like I met Dom that I actually got fairly decent at them again, or profitable at all with them ever. So if you have the knowledge and the feeling of knowledge, like you want your P&L to catch up to that, it sounds, and Ferrani's been around since probably we started Wine Wednesday. So, I know you have it as well. It's just a matter of making those tweaks, like J-Bone says, the emotion, right? Managing your emotions better, managing your decisions better. It comes down to the doing,
Yeah.
So.
It's also, I just think having time, you can't trade everything. Like you see someone like Nate out there, do you see how many different charts he traded in one day or in one morning and how many different positions he managed perfectly? You're probably not going to have that skill set. I don't have that skill set. I don't think Kyle has that skill set. No. Maybe Eric has the skill set.
No, I don't have either.
But it's just like, you only have so much mental capability to even handle the ups and downs of 1 or 2 or 3 setups. If I told Eric now, I need you to start shorting first red days and buying first green days. So here on a weekly basis, there's about 7 to 8 more trades I need you to be taking. It's probably going to cut into your day one gapper strategy as well, because now at the open, you got a lot of stuff going on. You're probably going to just stick to what you're good at and just not ever trade those patterns, because if you're only trading those patterns when your patterns aren't there, you're not realizing the true profit curve of the strategy. And
Correct.
So it's almost worth it in the long run just to stick to what you're good at, and what you do bring into your arsenal. I've always just kind of worked under the assumption it's very hard to turn a weakness into a strength, and if you already have a strength, so few people have a strength.
Triple
when it comes
down
to trading
on the strength.
Just go like all in on your knowledge of it, not all in on your account. But just become the best at it. Like maximize, get better risk reward, get a better win percentage, use more size, like milk it while it's there, and then you make the market force you to change patterns.
Yeah. Well, alrighty, we're a few minutes over. If you guys didn't get your questions answered, feel free to ask in the room. Eric is there and would probably happily answer it if you ask him there. Anyways, thanks so much for stopping by, Eric. We appreciate you for coming on. Maybe we'll have to.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll have to maybe do this again. I see a comment from Daria that she wants William on next, and William has certainly been having his good last couple of weeks or so, and trading wise, he was also at the boot camp.
Was William trading today?
I don't know. I don't think I saw him in the room. I think William.
He must have been working on his dump truck.
Yeah, doing. He has all. William also.
Oh
has
wait, he
business.
was trading. I think he was trading Wissa.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was planning to get short in the.
He was going to swing overnight, and then he didn't. Yeah, nice call,
yeah.
Jim.
Well, anyways, thanks so much, everybody, and we will.
Thank you, Eric, so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Tomorrow's a new day, right?
Yes, definitely.
5 a.m.